coming out here after 30 years, yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Yo, man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Praying. I appreciate you, man. Much love. Appreciate the support. Oh, I hope all of y'all watched part 1, man, of Southside Block. This is part 2, man, The Pardon. Southside Block, man. Listen, as I told y'all, those few things I told y'all in part 1, I was trying to paint a picture of the type of dude y'all was dealing with when you dealing with Block. This part right here is part 2, The Pardon. As I told y'all, man, Block was waiting on a pardon from the governor to overturn a life sentence because of some stuff that went on with his lawyer, his trial, or somewhat like that. Of the exact details, I don't know. But I do know he got the pardon. He actually got the pardon. So, to come in the penitentiary and live the way he was living and do the things he had already done in that short period of time that he was in there, and to be able to experience that life and to get freedom is amazing. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy about it is, the story goes, and I know some of it to be very true, if not all, but while he was locked up and going through all that he went through and waiting to get out or waiting to see what was going to happen with the pardon, in that time that he was incarcerated, someone supposedly had killed his best friend on the street, right? To the best of my knowledge, the streets was talking. The streets knew who did it, but that dude who actually did it was not incarcerated. He was not locked up for the actual murder. But the streets knew who did it, and that means that, you know, Block knew who did it. So where it was, if Block ever did get on the street again, then he had to deal with the dude, you know, because that was his best friend, his long life friend. So as I tell y'all, he got the pardon. He got the pardon. He went out on the street. Now, this part I am not exactly sure of, of the time frame, but I know it was not long. And I'm gonna tell you why I do know, and is because of the time frame of what happened with me. Well, he made his pardon and he got out, and I was still on Augusta. All y'all that's been following my story, you probably, especially if you was listening to some of the stuff that I first did when I was at ASP over there on After Prison Show, I told a story about my situation where, you know, I ended up getting you know, a major charge in prison where I had a beef with a dude, and, you know, I ended up having to do what I had to do with a dude, man, and I ended up getting charged myself with attempted murder in there. And that ended up me later, subsequently, after all of the stuff that I went through with the legal stuff, I ended up getting transferred to Mecklenburg, which, as I told y'all at the time, was the most highest security level prison in the state of Virginia. They only house a certain amount of individuals that they considered to be dangerous or violent, and the rest of it was death row. So it was a limited compound with limited amount of people on it, but you had to fit a certain type of criteria to get on it. So this was like about less than maybe a year and a half, you know, because I ended up staying in segregation for almost a year or better for that on that institution before I went to the other one and to Mecklenburg and was still in segregation. But with that being said, this is how I know the time frame. Between that time that happened with me and Block getting pardoned and getting released, by the time I get, so you're talking about less than a year and a half, by the time I get to Mecklenburg and make it to population, Block is back in the penitentiary. In my block. In the block that they put me in, he's back in there because he has life plus again for the murder of the dude who supposedly murdered his friend. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Allegedly, Block, well, he's been convicted of the crime, but allegedly he went and he seen the dude, he ran into the dude. Allegedly, the word is he rode up to the dude on a bicycle with a sawed-off shotgun and did what he had to do. And evidently somebody seen him and told on him or whatever, but he ended up back in prison with life plus for that murder. So he had actually got out on a pardon from a murder and go out and get charged with another murder, and he's back in prison when I get in the situation that I get in and get transferred to this institution. He's there and he hasn't been on the street. So it was crazy running back into him. You know, we reconnected, we talked. He seemed like at peace with his situation. He had just jumped right back into doing his bid, right back into doing time. You know, to me, he seemed a little different. He had like a little different mindset, because I guess in my mind, he realized now that he was like, you know, he gonna have to live this penitentiary life, because the chances of him just going right back out there was like slim to none. He's gonna have to live this penitentiary life. So he had a whole different mindset, a whole different outlook, to a degree that I could detect because I had been around him prior, you know. I mean, like now, man, he was, and he wasn't even, he worked out, he went to the gym, he lift weights and stuff like he usually do. He wasn't never the type of dude, because I say he was short but big and strong. He was never the type of dude that really play with knives and stuff like that. But by the time I got to Mecklenburg, you know, like I say, this is a different type of institution. Everybody on here is, you know, supposed to be dangerous. So, man, Block used to have knives and everything, man. I remember he showed me this knife he had made. It was so long. And I don't know where he got that steel from, but it was curved. So he actually, like I tell you, he a funny dude too. He actually had sharpened the knife so much and put so much care into shaping the knife and doing what he had to do with the knife. And he showed it to me and this other cat that we used to hang around with. And he was like, yeah, you know what I call this? Look at this pretty junk. Look at this. Look at this. You know what I call it? I said, what you call it, Blake? He said, Alibaba. Yeah, this is like Alibaba. You know, like the genie. Like the genie that has the bent knife. I said, man, Block, you crazy, man. You was a fool, man. I said, what you need that for? He said, I don't need it. But in case I do, I got it. I said, man, yeah, but he was a wild one, man. I mean, like I say, his whole aura about him was like just no nonsense. You know, he just straight go. He don't play. You know, I can remember an incident now too while we on Mecklenburg. Dudes used to make wine, you know, the liquor, you know, the drink. That's what they do. I told you, that's one of the best hustles in penitentiary, because it's in-house. You can get everything you need to make it from either the commissary or the kitchen. You ain't got to really, you know, put a whole lot of money in it, but you can get a whole lot of money out of it. So you had a lot of dudes in prison that made wine as their hustle. You know, dudes might want to watch a game or the Super Bowl or the playoffs or boxing match or something. So they want to sit down and eat some food and get something good to drink. And that's what they would do. They would look to buy something from the wine man. So I can remember this dude, man, and this little dude, man, his name was Easy, man. And Easy could box, man. He was a boxing dude. Right, he was known. He was on the boxing team. He put a little work in. You know what I'm saying? But he was also a smaller dude, like 5'7", you know, and he was small, like maybe 150, 160. And mind you, like I say, Block like 5'6", but Block probably like 240, 250, right, or better, you know. So Easy made some wine. So Easy sell the wine to Block and some other guys. But Easy is not in the same block as Block. We in different blocks. So he gets somebody to bring the wine around. They sneak the wine around, give him the wine, right? We drink the wine. So the next day, when we go on the rec, on Mecklenburg, when you go to rec, anybody who been to Mecklenburg knows, they let one block out, you in the hallway. Same place Bo Billy and Gangsta Slim almost gathered in, and you in the hallway. So we go around and then they let the other block out. Then all of us in the hallway, we're making our way around to the last block where they open that, let them out. Then we go down the stairs with the police. They let us on the yard, so on and so forth. So while we doing that, when we get around to block them block, Easy is out there. Block is on the other side. Mecklenburg got bars. It's not these doors and everything like these modern prisons. Mecklenburg's old school prison still got the bars. So we get to their bars, and all of them are lining up to get ready to come out, but they got to be shook down, pat down by the police and whatnot. So they lining up in a single file to get out. So while they doing that, Block called Easy over there and say, look, that wine, man, you sent around there last night, man, that joint won't right, man. That joint won't, you know, saying that it won't good enough. It was weak. It wasn't up to par, you know. So Easy was like, man, come on, Block, man. Don't try that, man. You know that joint was official. Ain't nobody else complain, you know. And just like that, just like that, Block went from being nice because he was really just trying to tell him that it really won't up to par. He won't really try to make no beef or no nothing about it. But by Easy saying what he said was, man, come on, Block, man, come on, you know, man, he just went, just like that. He went from nice to killer. He said, what? He said, man, come on, Block, man, you know, he said, man, come on, nothing. Don't tell me it wasn't no good. I told you it wasn't no good. Man, you know, I ain't paying you nothing now. Now you ain't getting ish. You know, so Easy was like, yeah, all right. What you mean, all right? You ain't getting nothing. Matter of fact, when these doors open, I'm gonna whoop your, you know what I'm saying? So Easy was like, okay, man, all right, Block, all right, man, it ain't nothing. He said, I know it ain't. And you can see now he enraged. He ain't playing. He serious. And dudes who know him know he's serious. Police is right there. And they know he's serious, but they scared. They don't even know what to say. You know, because they got the door open and they got other dudes out shaking them down. Only thing I seen the police say, look over them, is two police out there. He's calling by his government name and say, look, chill out. He said, shut up. And sure enough, man, soon as he came around and they pat him down and shook him down, he turned and he walking in the hall. He walked straight up to Easy and he just punched him in the face. Boom. Just grabbed him. They just started tussling. Block just slammed him down to the ground. And when he slammed him down to the ground, all the police come and they jumping on him. They try to pull Block off. Mind you, Block strong as a bull. You know, they pulling him. They trying to get him off. As they get him up, they stand him up. Easy gets stand up. They got Easy on one side. They police holding Block on the other side. Then the other police is coming. So Easy now feeling like he got away easy, you know, because he ain't get hurt that bad. He got hit one time and then he balled up and Block on top of him trying to do what he want to do to him, slam him down to the ground. But the police break it up. So then he started talking trash because he figured it's over because now the police here. He like, man, Block, you ain't nothing, man. You ain't ish, man. You ain't this, you ain't that. All that stuff they talking about you like that, man. You ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing to me, man. You can't hurt me, man. I thought you, man, you ain't this, you ain't. Man, I tell you, I kid you not, man. Block just break away from the police, man. It's like 2 or 3 police holding him. He get away from the police and charge Easy again. And the people the 2 police that's holding Easy, they scared. This is a lesson to all you out here too. This is why I try to tell you what happened in prison. You're not gonna be able to. You're gonna have to save yourself. They not gonna save you. I'm telling you. They terrified. This man ain't got no weapon or nothing, but they see him coming, running and ready. They let Easy go and back up themselves and call for more people, like hollering at him, telling him, stop it. I'm telling you, stop. Man, Block grab him again, just grab him, man, pick this man up and slam him down on his head and just start wailing on him. He just punching him. And Easy is balled up in a fetal position and Block is just hitting him. What? And they just come and bum rush Block then, man. About 15, 16 police. They flooding in there. More of them coming. And there's 20. And there's 25. And they all in there. They get Block up. Man, they holding them down, pin them down, cuff them up, drag them on up out there, man. Take Easy up out there, man. Easy knotted up. Little bruises, blood coming from them. I don't know where it's coming from. They take them all up out of there, man. And take them on up out of the situation, man. And both of them ended up getting locked up. But I say that just to say that's just an incident that I seen with Block, which I say is several. But that I say that to say he went from being nice just to enrage, just like that. Just by what Easy has said just put him in a fit of rage. You know, and that's what I'm saying. When you dealing with people like that, you don't know what you getting from time to time, but you do know if he come at you, he ain't playing. Now, if he had a knife or something at that time, he would have killed Easy. Easy would have died. He would have died. It's just that simple. He would have died just like that in the penitentiary over a transaction and a few words. You know, now in retrospect, when you bag it up and you look at it, you probably could say, man, that wasn't worth it, or you know, it could have been handled different. But this is how easy things pop off in prison. That easy. That's why you always got to guard your words. You always got to guard your person. You always got to be on your P's and Q's in prison, man, with who you dealing with and what you dealing with, because anything can happen at any time. Everybody can be laughing and having a good time, and next thing you know, boom, something that popped off. Now everybody on guard because you don't know what might be going on. Somebody might be snapping out one day with a knife and going crazy, and then they look around and then just say, man, I want to just kill everybody. So you may have to defend yourself for something that you have nothing to do with. So that's why when things pop off in prison, you always got to be on your P's and Q's, man. But I just remember that, man, when he just snapped out like that. And like I say, he back in prison with another life sentence after he done gave it up. After he done gave a life sentence back to the people, he back in there in less than a year and something. So that's just amazing to me, man. But it also is a testament to what type of dude you dealing with. Who do you know? Who have you ever heard in life give a life sentence back but feel like they got something to do when they get out there that might send them back to prison, who actually go out there and do it? Actually put themselves back in prison because of their principles to say, I can't let that slide. Now I'm able to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it, even if it costs me my life. That's, to me, right there, is what's mind-blowing to me. That's what's mind-blowing to me. You know, but that's the type of dude he is. And you know, like I said, and he did it, man. And he came back. When we was on Mecklenburg too, man, this is one of the craziest incidents I can remember with him. I was right there when this situation happened too. He man, he go in, we go to the gym. And in Mecklenburg, when you in the gym, you come out, we come through the back, and we walk around the building. It's a small gym on Mecklenburg because it's a small prison. We walk around the building to get back on the boulevard and go to our, you know, respective buildings. But when we coming out sometime, Death Row is a whole building within itself. Death Row may be out on the recreation yard where they got individual cage for each individual, because Death Row can't mix either. They can never be in contact with each other. So they might be in a cage like an animal, and then there's another cage beside it, another inmate, and so on and so forth. However many that came outside that day that's on Death Row. But when we're actually coming out of the gym, we can actually walk right by the gate where Death Row is at. So that's the closest we gonna ever be to Death Row, but there's a fence separating us. But we can actually touch the fence and they can touch the fence. So we actually can touch if they put their hands through the fence. But that's just to give you an idea of the proximity, how close we were. So we coming out this day, and they got some dudes out there from Death Row that's on the yard. Then they got a dude out there who had supposedly, if I remember the case correctly, it was a white dude. He's supposed to have been a racist, and he is supposed to have killed either a Virginia State or VCU student, a black girl, had beat her up real bad with a rock, beat her to death just because he was racist. This is what got him on Death Row. And when we walking by, people know that that's him. So somebody said that was him, and he started popping off. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I did it. So what? Boom, 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 and saying racial slurs, this, that, and the third. So as he's saying it too, Block is walking by the gate where he's at, and Block just and spit in his face. And he goes off. Oh, I'll kill you. I'm here. And Block tell him, you ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. You racist, this, that, and the third. So Block arguing, but Block keep walking. So he hollering, running around the fence. Tell me, I can get out here. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Nigga, I'll kill you. And he's hollering all this racist stuff. And he tells the police now, then he turns from a killer to a snitch. He goes straight from a killer to a snitch in record time. He said, hey, he spit on me. He spit on me. Y'all better get him. Y'all better do something about it because I ain't going in. I'm bucking. I ain't going in, man. He spit on me. Y'all better not let him spit on me. I'm telling you, man, I killed somebody. So he just snapping and snapping, right? So the police say, who? So he pointing at Block and he tell Block. So he started calling Block. Block keep on walking. So we get back to the building. So we back in the building. We in our block. And man, we ain't in the block 10 minutes. And the police them come around there about 4 or 5 deep. They come to the bars, to the side of the bars, and they call Block up there. And they said, look, man, dude complaining, man. He said you spit on him, man. He bucking on the yard. He ain't trying to go off the yard. So the captain them is out there talking to him. But they said, man, we gotta lock you up, man. Block said, lock me up for what? He said, the dude said you spit on him. He said, did you see me spit on him? Did you see? You ain't see me. I ain't going to jail. I ain't getting locked up because I ain't spit on him. I don't know what you talking about. So they're like, man, we ain't trying to lock you up. You know, we understand them, you know, but that's what we got to do because he said, he was like, well, you better tell him come man here because they ain't getting locked up. So they was like, man, he told me he ain't coming around. You got to lock you up with Blocks. So, man, well, F y'all then. Come get me. Come get me. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, we ain't trying to do all that. He's like, that's what you going to have to do. You know, so they leave for a second. Listen, this dude is off the chain, man. When they leave, they holler on the loudspeaker, tell everybody to lock up in your cell now. On Mecklenburg, as I remind you, it's only 12 cells. Because just like I say, this is a whole different institution. 6 on the bottom, 6 on the bottom. 6 on the bottom, 6 on the top. So they tell us to lock up in our cell. Everybody got to go to their cell. If you don't go to your cell, you go into segregation as well. Everybody go to their cell except for Block. Block not only don't go to his cell, he go block his door, put what we used to make back then, little things called a stopper, where we can block our door where it won't close, because sometimes you might run in and out, the police might close your door, people build that so they can't close your door, so you have more time to go in and out your cell, which you could get a charge for, but almost everybody did it. They used to give you a little play with it, let you get out of hand, but everybody did it. So anyway, block his cell, because he don't go in. He the only one out there now, right? They come back around there and they holler for him, you know, come to the bars, turn around, cuff up, we got to take you to cell. Block walks out of his cell with his boombox radio. We had the boom boxes back them days. Sets it on the table and hit the button, and out comes Public Enemy. Fight the power. Fight the power. You got to fight. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. Everybody in the block is now banging on their door, going crazy. And Block looked straight over at him and tell him, man, if y'all come and lock me up for that racist, no good piece of, y'all gonna have to fight, and you gonna have to fight hard, because I ain't going nowhere. And then Block went over there and grabbed the iron. We had an iron, a real iron in there where it was plug connected to the wall, but we use it to iron our clothes. It got a cord on it that connects it to the wall where you can't get it. Block breaks it, breaks it off the wall and started wrapping the cord around his hand. He got the iron in his hand. Tell him, come on with it. Come on with it, because I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, come get me. And man, it's on, and everybody's banging on the doors, and they hollering and they screaming, and the atmosphere is out of this world. It's like, man, Block is crazy, but he dead serious. And they know he's serious. They call it captain, and all of them ran there, and then they done went and put on their shields, and they got their nightsticks and all of this, and they got the running squad, and then they trying to talk tough to him. Well, we get ready to come in there. You better turn around. You better put the weapons down there. Block said, come on with it. Man, they bust the door and run in there, man, and Block charged him, man, and he just started swinging that iron, and he ended up hitting one of them dudes, officers, up under his shield, right up under his neck with that iron, man, and ripped his throat open, and they just bum rushed him and charged him then and tackled him down to the ground, and they tussling with him, man. They finally get him pinned down. All these officers on him, it's about 25 officers, I'm talking about no exaggeration. They get him pinned down and everything, hog time and all of that, and take him on up out of there, man. And I'll never forget that day, man. Block had that joint, Fight the Power plan, and Block said he was gonna rumble, and Block rumbled. And man, that tore that dude throat up, messed his throat up, man. So they gave Block, of course, a street charge with that. But when you got that time like Block got, when you got life sentences back then and you coming into prison, those are the least of your worries, getting some more time, because you already got a life sentence, you know. So They locked Block up, man, and on Mecklenburg back then too, they had this thing called, like I said, this was the maximum institution. So they had this joint called the double door, where they would put you in the basement and you locked up behind a double door. They got this door that locks, and then there's one behind that one that's locked. So you in the dungeon. And for like, you was definitely in the dungeon. And they had these cells, like 3 of them, I think. They had them preserved for people that they just could not control. Man, they had Block down there in that cell, man. And I'm telling you right now, within the next 2 days, that's all they was catching was pure hell. Block was finding a way to set the cell on fire, flooding the cell, banging on the door all night. You could look over in the building and see smoke coming from out of the building. They running over there and certified, man. They just was going through it with Block, man. They was going through it with him, man. They ain't know what to do with him. They dealt with Block like that, man. He just kept it going. Even when they thought they got everything out there that he could set a fire with, he found a way to do it again. He'll flood. He'll tear the bed off the wall. He did something. When they turned around, man, and they got so frustrated with him, man, and they knew his background, they knew the partner back, so they knew he was no nonsense. They knew he was serious. The incident they just had with him, he was mad because he said they beat him. You know, after they got him cuffed up and everything for hitting the officer, they beat him and stuff. So he retaliated. He ain't gonna stop. He telling them he not gonna stop till he can get one of them back. That's how he going. So they shipped him out of state, man. They sent Block to Florida. They sent Block to Florida, man. So this man ended up at a whole nother institution in a whole nother state where he knows nobody and got no family. That's what they did to Block, man. They sent Block out of state, man. And I ended up, you know, getting transferred. A couple of years later, I get transferred and everything, man. And I used to be wondering where Block was. I used to hear a little this, yeah, he left Florida after a couple of years. They sent him from Florida. They sent him back to VA after a couple of years. I think he stayed in Florida like 4 or 5 years. They sent him back to VA. When he get back to VA, they turn around and ship him out again. They send him to Texas. So they just ain't want nothing to do with Block, period, you know. So they sent him back out to Texas. But this is where the story gets even more amazing, because not only do years and years and stuff go by, I mess around, man, and years and stuff go by, man, even decades, man, and then, you know, come to the situation where as to I'm on Nottaway, you know, trying to make parole and stuff, man, and I heard that Block had actually made parole and was on the street. Yeah, he actually went home on a pardon from a murder, came back for a murder, and still beat me on the street. Still went home before I did. Block made parole and went home before I did. So Block was on the street, and I couldn't even believe it, because I was talking to a dude and he was like, oh yeah, man, I know Block, man, my mama went to school with Block home. I was like, what? Ain't no way in the world, Block. He said, man, Block at home, man. My mama know Block, man. I'm telling you. So he actually got a picture and showed me a picture of Block on the street, man. And I was in awe. I'm like, man, how in the world did, you know, not hating, just being realistic, how did Block get home before me? I said, man, I got to get serious about getting out this penitentiary, man. You know, so I just, that was kind of a spark to me to even be more proactive in, you know, trying to make parole, trying to get out. Because I'm like, man, it's possible. I know it's possible. You know, if he out there, it's definitely possible. So, yeah, but the crazy part about the story is that then I actually do make parole. And I actually go to the reentry. And, you know, the reentry is 5 months long. And if y'all been following my story, y'all know I was in there. I became like the senior coordinator in the reentry and everything. So I'm doing all the reentry stuff. And I think I'm like 3, maybe might be on my 4th month, either my 3rd or my 4th month, you know, before I could get out, you know, finish the 5 months. And the lady who run the program comes in there one morning and she gives a speech to our whole group, which is 80-something men. And she said, this right here is a lesson to all of y'all, because y'all should be lucky that y'all in here and y'all made parole, because you got people who getting these chances and they going out here and they playing games, and these people gonna go back, because Virginia had the lowest parole rate in the United States for decades. They had just started giving up parole for a little bit these last couple of years. So she was like, y'all gonna mess around, they gonna take that parole back because people going out here doing crazy stuff. I'm gonna tell you this, that, and the third, and I'm telling you, y'all better pay attention. And she called out Block's government name. And she said he just got locked up the other day, and they said it was for alleged robbery, and he is supposed to have got caught in the act of the robbery, and because he said he on his way back, and he just made parole and went out there. And she said, this is what y'all facing. When people go out there and do that, it makes it bad for the rest of y'all that's trying to get out here. So I'm telling y'all better go out there with the right frame of mind, and woo. And she gave her speech and everything. But the thing that was in all with me was, I knew it, Block. I knew who she was talking about. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, he was on his way back, man, which was crazy to me. And I just thought that was just that was wild, man. And sure enough, man, he's supposed to be locked back up right now for that situation, you know. So yeah, that's just that's amazing to me. That's just a crazy story. But Block, man, I'm telling you, man, he was no joke, man, no joke. And I know y'all done heard all of this that I said about him, so I know in y'all mind, y'all probably feel like, man, Block was crazy. Block was just he just was different, man. He was different. But I promise you, if you got to know him and you talk with him, man, you laugh with him, man. He was funny, man. You could joke with him, man. He sit around and make food and eat with him, man, and watch games, man. He just was a good dude, man. But I guess, you know, like I say, you never know what's going on the inside of a person's head, man. He had things going on inside his head that probably, you know, only he can deal with. You know what I'm saying? Only he can deal with. But I just know, man, I don't know, it's got to be a purpose to his life. It's got to be a purpose to his life. The man had a life sentence, got pardoned, came back with another life sentence, made parole, and then going back. So who knows, you know what I'm saying, what's going to happen with his life. You know, to my best of my knowledge, he got to be, I think he's younger than me, you know, so he in his 50s, early 50s. So he still got life left in him, but I don't know if they would ever give him a shot on the street again, especially Virginia. You know, I don't know how much time he ended up getting, but I'm not sure. I'll check into that. But anyway, man, like I say, he is a legend in them penitentiary walls, and he is definitely no joke and nothing to be played with. So yeah, man, so shout out to Block, man. Shout out to Block, man. And God bless you, brother. Good luck. You know, if anybody let you know that they seen this, good luck to you, man. And you already know, I ain't got nothing but love for you, bro. Richmond, y'all stand up, man. That's Southside Block, man. That's one of y'all own. He was no joke. He nothing to play with. And he's a soldier, man, as far as inside them walls, man. He was a soldier inside them walls. You know, he gonna be fair with you, but if you come at him sideways, you can rest assured you had a problem on your hands. And it didn't matter who you was. It didn't matter who you was. He was coming. You know, you had to show him, man. So, yeah, so that's Southside Block, man. I hope y'all got something out of this story, man. I hope y'all dig that, man. And like I say, man, the lesson in this joint and the blessing is, man, that Block is still alive. You know, he could be dead. The police could have shot him and killed him, because to the best of my knowledge, what I heard when they ran down on him, they had the guns drawn, but they didn't shoot. They could have shot him, you know, because we see that happen so much, you know. And the lesson in this is, bro, you could get so many opportunities, but it's what you do with them. It's what you do with them opportunities that's gonna separate what's gonna happen with your life, man. So, you know, Block had a couple of opportunities, man. God willing, man, he may get another one. You never know, but man, take advantage of your opportunities, man. Take advantage of your opportunities. Take advantage of the freedom that you have, man, and cherish that. Because when you get behind them walls, man, you live in a whole different life, and you live in a life, man, it's subhuman. Everything is sub. It's nothing on par. It's subhuman. You know, you can be treated like one. You can eat like one. You can live like one. So if that's not the life that you want to live, just, treasure the life that you got out here right now. Because I promise you, if you think it ain't good, or you think you struggling, or you think it's bad, I promise you it's a lot of people living worse, and there's a lot of people that trade positions with you, man. So peace and love to everybody out there, man, and appreciate what you got, man, because you ain't gonna miss it till it's gone. And one love to everybody out there. Thank you for rocking with me with these stories, man. Shout out Big Richmond. Shout out, man, Southside Block. And I'll be back at y'all with another one soon. So be safe, be smart, make good decisions. Peace out.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.